Hello, it's Nikki. Happy New Year. I am so delighted that you are here, that you found this channel. I hope it serves you. I hope it nourishes you. I hope it encourages you to have your version of 2026. I am reading from notes today because I bought myself a new notebook, and yes, it slightly clashes with the back wall there, but I love it. And I'm also really impressed with myself because I actually bought the notebook that works for my brain. Years and years have gone by where I've bought journals that have tiny lines that do not allow my creative scrawly writing to fit in them. And so I write 2 pages and then I remember who I am, and then these journals just become recycled paper for other bits and bobs. So this is an A4 lined situation. I bought it from the post office and it was buy one get one free. So happy days. I wanted to start here in a 5-part series, and I wanted to share lessons learnt in 2025 and my intentions for 2026. I know there is so much content about goal setting, and sometimes I find it very formulaic. And for me to be able to go through that process, sometimes it feels like I'm trying to squeeze myself into a situation. That is not going to be this. I am sharing with you lessons almost at random. It's almost like I've pulled them from a hat and we can talk about them. But hopefully what this will give you is some more creative thinking time. I'm also going to record them as little shorts so you can pick and choose from the playlist as and when you want to. The first thing I want to talk about is that setting goals is only about 10% of it. And yet, when we talk about success as a whole, people put so much emphasis on the goal setting strategy. I think it's important. I think it is important to claim what it is that you want, to get really specific, to actually have that time for yourself where you remember that you're important, you remember that you matter too, and you remember that it's important to be happy. And the way that often happiness comes to you is you being that version of yourself where you feel connected, aligned, and you're spending time doing the things and with the people that you want, and you are effectively in the lifestyle that you desire. However, it's only 10% the goal setting element, because 90% of it is planning, strategizing, learning, discipline, repetition, failing, getting to know yourself, showing up when it's hard. These are only a few of the elements. And I'm sharing this because I want you to know the truth. Because so many people over the years, I've had not millions, thousands of conversations with clients where they will say, I set my goals and it's not happening for me, and I just don't know, I can't get out. I'm feeling really stuck. So in terms of this percentage difference, I want you to imagine that 10% is the goal setting. Actually sitting down, however you like to capture it, whether you like to do a vision board, whether you like to do a list, whether you like to do intentions, whatever it might be. Imagine that is 10%. What are you going to do in terms of the other 90%? And by you thinking about it and actually visualizing how much this 90% chunk takes of the whole situation, it's going to move you into action. It's going to make you take a step forward. Because when we set goals, it's very, it's on the spot. It's in the moment. You may be sitting in a chair like this and you're just writing, you and the pen. However, the 90% is the action. It's the emailing, it's the researching, it's the having a go. It's the launching, it's the making the phone call, it's showing up 3 times a week, whatever that is. And so, knowing what the action needs to be, I hope that you will be able to move from just staying that 10% into the 90% quickly. Because even if you begin to move only 1% at a time, you're going to get there much quicker. Number 2, nobody cares as much about your goals as you do. There is this Mel Robbins voiceover that goes around on a loop on the internet that I'm sure you know, the one that nobody's coming, I'm going to butcher it. So it's something like that. Nobody is coming. And if we, for a moment, and this is not coming from a victim mentality, it's coming from a very neutral, factual place. Nobody cares as much about your goals as you. So, therefore, you have to prioritize them. And as soon as you flip it around to that realization of nobody cares as much about my goals as I do, it immediately puts you in the driver's seat. It moves you from waiting, hoping, wishing, crossing your fingers, seeing what's what, see how it goes, into, if I am responsible for me and my goals, it's time for me to do something, to be somebody, to take the next step. And so, as a takeaway, I want you to think about how you are actually going to prioritize yourself. And immediately, I know, it happens to me too. My brain wants to go, but I'm busy and I've got kids and I've got 1,000,001 things to do. I do not have time to go on a 4-week retreat, as much as I'd love to Thailand. So what am I going to do with the available things that I have? And that's why I have often gone back to this 15-minute running habit. Because this 15-minute running habit of me dedicating just 15 minutes, although sometimes that 15 minutes is so hard to gain and to make happen, and sometimes I don't feel like it, but that 15 minutes daily is for me. And nobody is taking that away from me. And I can use that 15 minutes for whatever I want. I can use it to think, to process, to curate, to visualize, to simply just be in the groove of moving my body and feeling connected in that way. I am prioritizing me and my goals in that 15 minutes. And I love to ideally do it in the morning. And do you know what? It sets me up for the rest of my day because I am starting from that place of feeling full. Now, you might be watching this. I don't know who's watching this, so I can't account for everybody. You might be in a season of life where you're just 15 minutes is just not, what are you talking about, Nikki? And I have had those seasons of life as well. It might be for you coming off your phone 5 minutes before you go to bed and listening to something and writing something down, or making sure that you pause 3 times a day and take 3 deep breaths. It can be so simple, but those things that you are putting in your tank again and again and again are building, are growing. And so equally, if you're telling yourself, I don't have time, I can't do this, I'm too busy, etc., it's going to feel hectic as well. Number 3, the universe heard you. The universe heard you, and it now wants to know what you're going to do next. So there is this idea that we throw things out to the universe. I'm just going to put it out there. People say it all the time. This manifestation chat is really rife. You only have to go on social media for about 2 minutes and somebody will tell you how to attract more abundance into your life. I love also to play a game with this. And I have formed in my head a caricature version of the universe. And this caricature, I like to think, is somebody like Snoop Dogg, who has gold chains on. He has quite a serious look in his eyes. I don't know why I'm making him a man, but it can be anyone you like. But it just kind of makes me smile. And every time I go to the universe and I say, but I've asked you, where is it? I imagine this character turning round slowly, sitting back in their chair, and them saying, I heard you. But what that actually means is they heard you and they're waiting for you to move. And too often people throw these wishes, these hopes, these dreams out there, like I've written it on a piece of paper and now I'll let the universe do its magic, when actually we need to become that person. We need to step forward and step into that version of ourselves. Because once we begin to do that, that's when the universe will find us with the opportunity. Because there'll be alignment, there'll be connection, there'll be a sense of a match. And so when you are asking the universe, whatever you believe in, for the thing, or maybe it's you just saying, I'd really like to do this thing, but it's just not really happening at the moment, or like work's really quiet. I hear these people sort of saying these flat statements. I want to ask you, so therefore, what do you need to do? Join for part 2.